I'm Lawrence Chard. Welcome to our Chard's Coin and Bullion Dealer YouTube channel. I should be trying to do this in German because on the last video some of my customers were saying I had a strange AI voice and a strange accent, but apparently YouTube had done an auto-translate into German and lots of other languages and it sounds awful. I've yet to listen to it, but there you go. So for our German viewers, Guten Tag, wie geht's? That's about all my German for now. I'll do a little bit more later. So today we're going to look at some 1918 Melbourne Mint Sovereigns, a fairly normal date, but it's something of a rarity. A few days ago somebody showed a photo of one on the Silver Forum, which I participate in, and people tagged me up for all sorts of information and opinions. And even though I don't think I'd been mentioned on this, I had a look at it, and the guy had got one, and his coin had got a dot, a raised dot, between the 1 of the date and the 9. And a raised dot is often a sign of a giveaway for forgeries, because a raised dot must have been a dent or an indent on the actual die, producing the opposite, a raised effect on the coin. The Royal Mint and the branch mints are usually quite careful with their dies because they're expensive bits of kit. They've taken a lot of making, they have to be careful with them. They usually would hope to get thousands of spiteful impressions from them, so they're careful. To get an indent on a die, you really do need to treat it badly and drop something like a file or a pointed object on them. That's really careless, and once it happens, I'm sure mints don't want to discard dies because they've cost money to produce. And if you're a branch mint like Melbourne, in those days, if you ran out of dies, you might have to wait 3-4 weeks, or even months maybe, to get new dies from the Royal Mint in London. For whatever reason, I looked at the guy's photo and said, well, there's nothing untowards that I can see on your coin and from your photo, even though it wasn't the greatest photo, except for the raised dot. But apart from that, looks perfectly normal. There were some other discussions, and a couple of other people had helpfully found other examples for sale with the raised dot, which leads me to believe that it's not really rare. It's quite common for 1918 Melbourne mints. And it's something that I hadn't actually noticed, or if I'd seen it before, it hadn't registered. So I thought, okay, when I get a minute, I'll look at our stock of 1918 Melbourne mints and see whether we've got any in. If so, how many? We got 5 in stock, which is not a lot. Some coins we have about 50 of a type. But anyway, out of the 5 coins we'd got, I found 2 with the dot. We'll show you a picture of one here. You can see both sides of it, but it's the reverse side that we really need to look at. And I think it's probably worth us doing a close-up of the date mint mark area, the exerg, and you can see the dot, and you can hopefully see it's raised. Quite unusual, but here's a point. Why is it so common? And also, why is it not listed as a distinct variety in coin catalogues, and in particular the Gold Sovereign book, originally by Marsh? Because it's an important mint error. Now, Melbourne is the commonest mint mark for 1918. 1918, just sat on near the end of the First World War, there were 13.7 million sovereigns struck that year, of which Melbourne Mint produced 4.8 million of them. And that's a lot of sovereigns and a lot of dies. Normally, a raised dot or some other die damage would only affect one die, and at the end of that die's life it'd be scrapped and they'd use new dies. In this case, if we've got 2 out of 5 coins, 40%, that would be somewhere between 1 and 2 million coins struck from a faulty die. Dies don't last that long. Dies might last 10, 20, 50,000 impressions if you're lucky. I'd have to do some more research to find that out. And it's one of the things, because there's little or no published information on it, I will be making a note to actually speak to other numismatists, in particular in this case, the very good people at the Royal Mint Museum, and showing our coin and our photo. I need to get down there again this year. We haven't been for about a year. So I'll take it with us and show them, and we'll have a chat and we'll see what examples they've got of the 1918M with dot. Maybe they've got a sample in there, maybe they haven't, I don't know, but we might learn more. But what I'd like to know is why there were so many and why it's so common. Anyway, there you go. That's an interesting little thing. There was something I didn't know, and I like to share knowledge and experience with other collectors. When I asked our warehouse team to find me our 1918 stock, they also found some in our Black Museum, and we've actually got more fakes of this one in stock than we have genuine ones. And the reason for that is, whenever we get fake coins, we try and photograph them. Sometimes we'll do a video with them, because fakes are always very interesting. We've got quite a backlog of videos we want to do, and there's a lot of stuff and a lot of value in our Black Museum that needs sorting out and ultimately scrapping, because we'll scrap probably 90% of the coins in it. Otherwise, we'd have millions of pounds worth of Black Museum stock. But before we actually scrap them, I like to document them. So once we've finished doing this video and photographing all the fake ones, we will scrap some of them. How many fake ones have we got? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think at least 9 fakes in there. We'll probably keep one of them. So what I was looking at in the fakes is to see whether any of them had a dot on them, and we'll show you a photo of this one as well. 1918M with a dot there. We'll show it you on screen, and we'll show you a close-up as well. If you look at the coin, it looks awful, and it should be obvious to just about anybody that it's a fake. It's so weak looking, the relief is so poor. It looks like it's been made in somebody's backyard, which it probably has. No offence meant to Backyard Bullion, by the way. He's okay, and I'm sure he doesn't make his own fake sovereigns. There we go. I found that was interesting, that somebody forging that has obviously come across one with a dot on it and gone, okay, we'll copy this. They probably haven't noticed the dot. Who could blame them if they were faking things? So these were other fake ones that we came across, and there's some interesting ones in here for various reasons. Oh yeah, it's a good one. What's interesting with this, apart from the fact it's a very nice shiny looking fake, looks absolutely brand new and hot off the press, but just under the king's head there it says R21. I don't know what the R stands for. It may be maybe the counterfeiters' initials of his shopman. Oh, actually there's also a scratch mark and some a red acid stain there. So some jeweller, probably in the UK, or pawnbroker, had actually got something with a point on it, done a scrape, acid tested it, because jewellers and pawnbrokers don't know anything about coins generally. If that had been an extremely rare coin, they would have just ruined it. Because it's a fake, well, no. So that says R21 on it. Reason for that, it's probably made in somewhere like Dubai, or maybe Saudi, to sell on their gold souks and market, and they have extremely strict laws that, yes, you can counterfeit coins because they don't care, they're using them for jewellery, but you have to be honest about it. So you have to tell somebody something is only 21 carat, and if you've made it yourself in your workshop, then you have to tell them that as well. And actually, there we go. We've got another one with R21 on it. Maybe it stands for real. It's real, but it's fake. That one's an ordinary boring fake. Somewhere else, what else have we got here? Oh, that's a nice shiny one. Oh, there we go. That's got K21 stamped on the reverse. So we'll show you a close-up of that. And that's a normal fake. What we'll also do is we'll Niton XLF test one or two of these, and we'll show you the test results. So it's time to test some of our 1918 Melbourne Mint Sovereigns. The first one we're going to test with our Niton XLF machine is one with the dot on. So 1918 Melbourne Mint with a dot. We're only going to test one side for now. Stop. Here we go. And oh yeah, we've got the figures up there, but I'm watching them on the screen. So here we go. Gold plate not detected. We knew this. We've tested them before and written it down, but this is a question of a point to show you in the video of the figures that we're getting. Of course, you're seeing this, well, not quite live, but you're seeing a recording of it. Now somebody might go 21.88, but don't worry about that. The content 911 plus 4 is 915, which is actually just a whisker off what it should be, 916.66 recurring. But even though these things are the best part of £20,000, you can't expect absolute precision out of them. And down to 1 part per thousand, or sometimes a little bit more, you can get some extra variation that doesn't always show up on the error column of the machine. Nothing's perfect, not even me. Where are we? 91. That would be 9149, which is amazingly close enough, because I can see, using human eye brain experience, that coin's genuine. I'm not perturbed by that reading, but there we go. So that was the M with a dot, and now we'll do one without the dot. This one will be nice, I think. I like to pick a nice clean coin. So this is the one that we've shown in the stills before. This is 1918M, but this time the normal type without that dot between the lettering. Gold plate not detected. Give it a little while. Funny enough, this reading is looking very slightly low as well. I wonder if we need to recalibrate the machine. I didn't actually do a calibration before we started today, but sometimes when we do that and recalibrate or reset it, it doesn't actually make any difference, but it's something that we probably should do. And actually that's looking okay, because if we add the 912 to the 4, and we're coming to 916, it was coming to 917 before that. It's certainly 912, 913, 913. That's entirely what we'd expected. So there we go. Yep. So if we add those two together, it'd come to 917. And actually look at the details bit as well, because it tells us more. And we're also coming out at 4 parts per thousand of silver, which is entirely normal for a sovereign of that sort of date. So that's one with a dot and one without a dot. What else can we show you while we're at it? Well, we looked in our Black Museum, as you know, and we actually found we had about 8 or 9 1918 Melbourne fake sovereigns in our Black Museum for some reason. I was happy to see them, because in there I was quite excited because I found one with a dot, and here it is. So what's this going to show? Again, I have actually night-on tested this before now, and I've forgotten what the result was. Why have we got that? We need to close that and then start again. Oh no, this is looking a bit low. And at the minute the silver content's just slightly high at 5 parts per thousand. The 5 parts per thousand wouldn't bother me at all, but the gold reading is low on this. When we give it its full 60 seconds, I think we'll find it's slightly deficient. Is it worth testing any other ones? That was one with a dot. Got a bag which are all fakes, so we'll just test one other 1918M. This is a non-dot one, and I know this one's low as well. What's our reading on that? That's 899 plus 4, that'd be 913 max, so that is definitely slightly deficient in gold. The silver contents are at 5 parts per thousand. That's what I would expect for what I reckon is an obvious fake. And then this is 1918 without a dot. That's a Melbourne Mint one without a dot, not a London one because they don't exist. Yeah, again, this is coming out low. We can see it is at the minute. And even when this gets to 60 seconds, if we add back the error figure on the right hand side, it's not going to actually bring it up to 916 or 917. So 909 plus 3 would be 912. It's not high enough, it should be 916 or 917. We'll click the details. The silver content was showing at 4 parts per thousand, 35 parts per 10,000. So it rounded up. Again, that's entirely normal and consistent, but the gold content's low, and that wasn't unexpected because it's a fake. Some fakes are made with the good gold content, and everybody said, oh, why is people forging with the wrong gold content? Look at our other videos, or look at our blog and information pages on our website. You'll find out. Right, now I nearly forgot. When we were looking at our 1918 fake, oh, listen to that. The sound of money being counted in the background. That'll add some interest to the video. Both these two are stamped R21. I don't know what the R is supposed to stand for. We've mentioned that in the video, but I thought we'll test one of these two. We don't need to test them both. I'm pretty sure they look very similar, but I think the gold content was about that. So this should show us about 21 carat. It's showing a little bit higher at the minute. So there you go. Things like this sometimes get called jeweller's copies, and they're probably made in Dubai or Saudi or something like that to sell either for jewellery for locals or to tourists because people think gold in Dubai is cheap, so you can probably buy it from us at better prices than lower. So what the R stand for, I don't know, could be Raoul or I don't know. You'd expect to see C, CT or K, but there probably is something else it stands for. I don't know what. And there we go, coming out at about 908 maximum if we add the 2 and 9 with 7. So slightly low on gold for 22 carat, but showing a 21.69 carat, which is better than the 21 carat that it's stamped. Don't think there's any gold plating on that would figure it. And then here's another one, and this one actually has got the stamp on the reverse and it says K21. There's very shiny feels on this one. I think we're showing you a photo of this one with a bit of luck, and you can see how shiny and polished that looks. Rather proof-like. K is fairly normal. It's presumably from the Americanized KARAT for carat. We put CT, the Americans say carat with a K. And yeah, that's showing a bit better than 21 carat. Obviously, if they're selling to the tourist market or to consumers for jewellery, it probably doesn't matter for the manufacturers if there's slightly more gold in than the saying, because they won't be working on the slim profit margins that a real bullion dealer would be working on. We often work on maybe 1%, 2%, 0.5% on some days. They'll probably be working on about a 5% or a 10% markup on imitations and forgeries. So there we go, 21.23 carat. So it's better than its 21 carat, but we just thought we'd show you that. Occasionally we see sovereigns with R or KT or CT stamped on them, or other Arab symbols being sold as sovereigns, and nobody thinks to look what that means. So presumably the people we bought these from in the past, they've actually bought them, or their relations have bought them thinking they're genuine sovereigns, but not caring. Right, that's testing for now, folks. I think that's probably it. Did I mention that you can subscribe if you like our videos? You can do a thumbs up if you like them. If you like this one, you can do a thumbs down if you don't like them. And most of all, you can ask us questions, add comments. You can complain about my voice. You can complain about the German translation. In fact, the fact that somebody commented on that alerted us to the fact that YouTube were doing a German and foreign language translations. You can ask us about fake coins. You can ask us about what you'd like to see in a future video, whether these are interesting. Whatever you like. We like to hear from you. We do read all the comments. We try to answer most of them and do so as soon as we can. You can also comment on Silver Forum, where we can have a much longer discussion. I think that's probably it. Have I missed anything out, Christian? Probably not. Okay. Bye for now and see you next time.